What's going on, YouTube? Shyam here, coming at you from an OG's perspective. Just coming at you during this coronavirus outbreak. A lot of people having hard times, difficult times. Um, at this point, I think we know it's not a hoax, okay? This is a for real virus. And it's more than an epidemic, it's a pandemic, meaning it's spread all over the world. It's not just centralized in one city or one country. I just had some things I wanted to point out. At this point, I think we see it's not an overreaction. People need to stay in their homes and quarantine for now, even though they're not calling it a quarantine. It basically is a quarantine. Safest thing to do is just distance yourself from people, especially if you have symptoms. It's not a hoax, it's not a conspiracy, it's really happening. Obviously, people are having to stay home, people are losing their jobs over this. A lot of people are having to take unemployment because they've basically been laid off from their jobs. There's no work. A lot of people can't even work with the public right now, so they're forced to take unemployment. But for y'all out there, some people believe it's a conspiracy. Or, I'm sorry, not a conspiracy, but the virus is man-made or was planted in a country by certain people. I don't believe that's the case. I believe that this really originated from the handling of animals that humans shouldn't even be handling, possibly cutting, breathing, and ingesting these exotic animals that humans aren't even really supposed to have contact with naturally in normal nature. And they're saying bats have a lot of viruses in them, and the coronavirus is one of the viruses that bats have in them. But they don't believe it spread from humans to humans from bats, though. They feel like bats have probably infected other animals that humans do deal with. But there's, if you want to look more into that, there's videos out there about that. Look into wet markets, Wuhan wet markets, or Chinese wet markets. They're cutting up animals and interacting with animals that they really we shouldn't be interacting with. They're cutting up bats, they're cutting up snakes, they're cutting up all types of animals that we shouldn't be eating, ingesting, or even messing with because they have viruses in them. And they also sell exotic animals that are illegal to sell. There's animals in there in horrible conditions on top of other animals, cages on top of cages, animals pooping on animals, animals really scared and nervous, animals possibly thinking in desperate situations need to fight for their lives. And these are perfect situations for people to catch viruses, or viruses to transfer to humans. So when you guys are out there, just be careful, whether it's a conspiracy, whether it's man-made, whether it was injected in somebody, all these different conspiracies don't matter at this point. At this point, we all need to be safe, because if it was meant to harm a certain population, it's spread across the world now, so everybody has a chance of catching this, and they don't know everything about this. We don't know if it's airborne. We don't know how long it lasts in the air. We don't know if it's floating in the air. Nobody really knows yet until they do extensive research on this virus. So for the time being, y'all, don't be spreading rumors on social media. Don't spread false documents. Keep all your recipes to yourself, and we need facts right now. We don't need theories and how people feel and they feel this will work or they feel that'll work. We need facts right now. So stop sending the fake recipes. Drinking boiling garlic is not going to kill a virus. Although garlic is very strong and can be used to kill or disinfect certain things. Um, just let's not forward misinformation. Let's try to base everything in facts and make sure we fact checked everything instead of just reading the title and sending it off to people, not even knowing what the subject is. And I think a lot of this stuff has been disproven by this point anyway. They were saying black people can't get it. That was disproven as soon as Rudy Gobert got it, and then his teammate, the other young man, got it. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now, but anyway, but I said people aren't going to take this seriously until a celebrity or an athlete or a famous person that they care about gets infected with this. And what happened? As soon as Rudy Gobert and Tom Hanks came out that they had it, NBA shut down. A lot of different places decided to shut down instantly. It was like, okay, once the celebrity got it, it was people paid attention. So, I said that. I said people weren't going to pay attention till a celebrity got it. But some people still aren't paying attention. I don't know if it's ignorance. I don't know if it's people feel invincible. But, or maybe people are just ignorant to the facts and don't, some people don't watch the news, I guess. But you got to watch the news. I know some people don't trust the news, and, news is controlled by certain agencies and they controlled by the elite. But there's ways to fact check stuff. There's different outlets to get your news from. There's a lot of reporters and independent investigators that are out there on YouTube now too. So get in with somebody, find people that you trust, find channels that you trust that you can get your news from, find truthful investigators and fact check stuff. Don't just take things for face value. Don't see a title and run with it. That's basically hearsay. Fact check stuff. And to be honest, that's all I really had, y'all. Now that it's out there, we just got to be safe now. Really wash your hands. Truly wash your hands. Disinfect your hands. Use alcohol. Use the alcohol rubs. Dilute some bleach, Lysol. You don't have to go through certain companies. Only there's other ways to disinfect. You know what I mean? People are buying aloe vera and mixing it with alcohol now. Making their own alcohol rubs or alcohol disinfectant, hand disinfectants. So heed that advice. Heed the advice of the health officials. Wash your hands. Don't shake hands. If you do, wash your hands. If you're dealing with money, touching counters, touching other people, touching metal, railings, doorknobs, disinfect your hands. It really matters. It really does matter. Someone said they don't want to clean their hands too much or disinfect too much because they're killing the good germs on their hands too. And some of the good germs can kill viruses. That's not true. Everybody stop spreading this hearsay. A disinfectant is going to clean viruses off your hands, and that's what you need. You need viruses to be cleaned off of your hands or destroyed. And alcohol, bleach, Lysol, those are the things that do it. They also say vinegar, if it's 100% vinegar, can also kill it also. Fact check though, don't just take my word for it. Fact check that. Go look that up. Research that. What else? Myself personally, I stay washing my face. I'm cleaning my hands and I'm cleaning around my nose and eye area, cleaning my mouth constantly. Drink lots of water. If you got the virus or germs in your mouth or in your mouth area, you're gonna bring them down to your stomach. Where your stomach acid can neutralize viruses. Supposedly, like I said, don't just take my word for it. Fact check that. Look up some doctors. Read about, Google some doctors and how they feel about, you know, keeping this virus away from you. But one of the ways you can definitely keep all germs and viruses from harming you is drinking lots of water. As I drink some water right now. Wash all those germs down into your gut. You know, that's part of your immune system. That's a way we also kill germs is with our gut, with our stomach acids. You just don't want the germs and the viruses to pass through your throat and into your lungs, into your esophagus and into your lungs, and that's when it gets bad. That's when it gets real bad, is when this virus is able to get into your lung tissues. It infects your lung tissues. You get a real bad lung infection or pneumonia. So that's how this virus kills people. So you guys stay vigilant on your hand washing. Stay quarantined for now. I mean, you don't have to go outside. You know, I know people need to work and I know people need to get food and stuff like that. You got to do what you got to do. Keep your distance. A lot of stores now are only letting 1 or 2 people into the stores, so a lot of companies and businesses are doing what they have to do too. So right now we just need to be respectful of each other, follow these rules that we have right now. You know, we're not in a martial law. You know, the police are not forcing us to stay in our houses. You know, we can still leave our houses and do what we need to do. So, you know, make sure you handle your business, but do it appropriately. When I leave now, I leave with gloves, but you know, that's just me. Some people leave the house with a mask on. I've seen people wearing bandanas and scarves. You know, that's them. You got to use that protection though, because this is real. Keep your distance from people, 3 to 6 feet away from people. You might want to stay farther than that away from people. I would suggest it because we don't know how far our breath mist goes, how far our sneezes, our coughs go. We just don't know these things. We don't know how long this virus floats around. Somebody standing right there in your face with the virus. We don't know how big of a cloud of virus that person has around them, where it floats to, how long it floats. We just don't know. This stuff is invisible. And it's very different than a virus like the AIDS virus that was transmitted through body fluids, you know, semen or blood. So very different, very different. We got an invisible killer that sits on metal for days and sits on plastic for days, can sit on cardboard for a day, and it's in the air for hours and all this other stuff, and it's highly contagious, you know, highly viral. This is the original meaning of viral right here. This stuff spread all over the world within months. And without this quarantine, basically everybody on the planet probably would have got this. So these measures right now, we're going to have to follow these measures right now, okay? It's not fake. This is from an OG's perspective, okay? I'm from the hood. I've been through bad things. I've been through bad times. I've been homeless. I've been without a job. All these different things. So, you know, I don't trust everything I'm told. I don't trust the government at all times. You know, there's times when, you know, you gotta take what you know, take your experiences in life and use those for your knowledge. You know, you can't just be led by one person or one state. You know, sometimes you gotta use your knowledge and what you know and follow what you know. But I say use facts though, y'all. Don't just go by your heart or your feeling, because you know your heart and your feelings could be wrong. Go by facts. Research those facts, y'all. I didn't want to make this too long, and I made it more boring than I expected it to be. I wanted to keep it lively, but these times that we're in right now are rough. I just want to come at you from an OG's perspective on a few things, how I felt. I'm going to dig into a little bit of this news right now. Trump's approval rating rises as he responds to the coronavirus outbreak. I don't see how. Every time he speaks, it's just ridiculous. Ridiculousness every time he speaks. Trump says he wants the country opened up and just raring to go by Easter. That's not happening. And if he allows it to happen, all we're going to have is another huge wave of outbreak all over again. White House officials looking for a way to open up the economy without a health catastrophe. You're gonna have, I don't know, if people, you know, without people working, it's gonna be hard to open up the economy. Trump pivots on the coronavirus are no longer just dizzying. Now they're dangerous. I would agree. He every day he seems like he's going a different way with this. He just doesn't seem informed enough to be speaking on this virus. He needs to just go ahead and let his advisors speak on this from now on, because some of the things he says is just outright dangerous for the U.S. Trump on the House Democrats coronavirus relief bill. No way I'm signing that deal with Green New Deal stuff. That deal is not going to pass. That's so much money that the government is going to hand to people that they've never done before. That's not going to happen. I bet I wouldn't be surprised if that bill never goes through. Coronavirus in New York is astronomical surge will hit hospitals. They're getting hit pretty bad in New York right now. State may need 140,000 hospital beds. 85% of the new coronavirus cases are reported in Europe and the United States. Europe and U.S. is getting hit hard right now. We're going through. I was saying this was just the beginning. It still is the beginning. We're just now getting into the thickness. We're just now getting hit with the bad parts. We're about to go through a real bad run right now for the next week, I say. Florida government takes heat for the state's slow response to the coronavirus crisis. I feel like everybody is really taking a really slow response to the virus. A lot of people are not taking it serious enough. A lot of people were not prepared for this. So Sacramento takes first COVID-19 drive-through test appointments. So that's good information. Sacramento is now taking drive-through test appointments. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here, y'all. That's just a little bit of stuff that I had ShyamdaMan, from my perspective, OG's perspective. Obviously, I'm not telling any of y'all to believe anything I'm saying. I always want y'all to go fact check anything that comes out of my mouth or anything that you see or hear on the internet. Go fact check that stuff. Don't just believe everything you receive, and stop sending misinformation out, y'all. If it's not based in fact, something that's factual, something that somebody's actually researched and knows about, don't just forward it, y'all. Just because your smart auntie sent it to you. You know what I mean? We during this crisis, we need all facts, y'all. No misinformation right now. But anyway, y'all have a good day. Hopefully anybody I'm speaking to hasn't contracted this virus, and if you have, I hope for a speedy recovery and a safe recovery. Drink your water, eat healthy foods, y'all. Eat y'all vegetables, keep eating fruits. If you contract this virus, stay in your house, stay in your bed, keep a mask on. Don't do your best to not spread this to other people. Everybody needs to act like they have this, and don't spread it. Treat everybody like you don't want to give them the virus, and that'll be the best way to everybody prevent themselves from catching this. The numbers are going up. I just hope everybody stays safe. And that was from OG's perspective, y'all. Peace out.